Hey, it's me, Raika. Today we're going to have a look at the brand new Lightbearer hero, Raoul Rogue Detective. Now this hero wears cloth-based gear, is part of the Ranger class, and his primary role is to provide a significant amount of buffs for your allies, debuffs for the enemies, and a bit of damage as well for your teammates. So let's have a look at his skills. His ultimate ability, Headline News. Now it has two components, passive and active. So during the passive component, 10% accuracy is converted into magic efficiency, and 100% physical pierce becomes magic pierce. The active component, Raoul calls in a newsboy and shoots at the enemy, dealing damage for 360% of his attack rating that ignores the enemy's defense and stuns them for 4 seconds. The newsboy dashes to the center of the battlefield, distributing newspapers that restore 250 points of energy to all allied heroes. So this is every single time he uses his ultimate ability. The level 2, the newsboy's newspapers are also distribute the attack rating Raoul stole through intel extortion, that is his normal attack, to all allied heroes. The stolen attack rating is not returned. So what this means is every single time Raoul steals attack rating from the enemies, he will distribute it amongst your allies and power them up even further. The level 3, the energy recovery rate is increased from 250 to 350 points of energy. So let's look at his normal attack, Intel Extortion. So this is where he steals attack rating from the enemy heroes. Once again, it has a passive and an active component. A camera follows Raoul, snapping a photo every 8 seconds, dealing damage to nearby enemy heroes for 120% of Raoul's attack rating, and pinpointing one weakness. So this is a debuff applied to the enemy heroes. Each enemy can have up to one pinpointed weakness. The active component, Raoul blackmails all enemies with pinpointed weakness, stealing 15% of their attack rating and 100 energy points per weakness. The stolen attack rating is returned after 8 seconds, but the ultimate will counteract this and essentially not allow the enemies to gain more attack rating. Now, in addition, the stolen attack rating is returned after 8 seconds, with a total stolen from each enemy not exceeding 120% of Raoul's initial attack rating. The level 2, damage dealt by the camera's photos is increased to 160% of Raoul's attack rating. Level 3, energy stolen is increased from 100 to 150%. And the level 4, attack rating stolen per weakness increases to 20%. So this is 15 to 20%. So as we can see, he can provide a significant amount of attack rating buffs for your allies and a bit of energy as well. So let's have a look at his next ability over here, Low Blow. Raoul loads 3 special rounds and fires them in the following order: fire, lightning, and then ice. Each round deals AoE damage equal to 180% of his attack rating and applies the following effects. The fire round reduces the target's defense by 30% for 6 seconds. The lightning round drains 100 energy points from the target, and the ice round freezes the target for 2 seconds. When loading his rounds, Raoul locks onto an enemy, starting with the nearest enemy hero. Subsequently, he targets the enemy that took the most damage from his previous shots. The locked target takes 30% more damage from Raoul. So as we can see, if this is a boss, he can pummel the boss with a lot of debuffs and energy reduction effects. The level 2, defense reduction from the fire round increases to 40%. Level 3, the lightning round can now drain 150 up from 100 points, and the 30 engravings. The locked target takes 40% more damage from Raoul and his allies. So as you can see, this is a significant amount of extra damage that he can buff your allies and buff himself. So let's look at his next ability, No Holds Barred. Raoul swiftly closes in on an enemy and performs a 3-hit combo, each hit dealing damage for 150% of his attack rating. The final move is a flying kick and knocks the enemy down. Afterward, Raoul retreats and recovers 25% of his max health. for the duration of the skill. Raoul is invincible and untargetable. The level 2 increases each hit's damage or the combo damage from 150 to 220%. Level 3, the health recovered is increased to 35% of his max health, so this is from 25 to 35. And the 16 engravings, if Raoul takes fatal damage, he becomes immune to it and he immediately targets the attacker with no holds barred. This effect can only trigger one time per battle, so as we can see, he has a bit of immunity and a bit of self-healing from this ability over here. So let's have a look at his signature item. So when you unlock the Ruthless Marksman, he'll increase the damage multiplier for fire round to 120%. The level 10 unlock, lightning rounds also restore 100 energy to nearby allies. So as we can see, he can become a massive energy battery for your teammates. The level 20, when firing ice rounds, Raoul gains 30 insight, so this makes him more effective at inflicting control-based effects. Level 30, while loading a round, Raoul hurls a round that creates a pool of explosive liquid, which detonates after 2 seconds and deals 350% damage. And the 40 signature unlock, each time Raoul fires a round, his attack rating increases by 20% for 5 seconds. This effect can stack up to 3 times. So this synergizes extremely well with his normal attack, where he can keep on stealing more and more attack rating from the enemy heroes. So let's have a look at his next item upgrade over here, his furniture. Now when you unlock Evidence Collection, when Raoul successfully controls an enemy or attempts to control a boss, the camera snaps an extra photo. This can trigger once every 1 second. The 9 out of 9, each enemy can have up to 3 weaknesses pinpointed by Raoul at the same time. So what this means, his 9 out of 9, is that he can steal up to 60% of the enemy's attack rating when he has given them 3 weaknesses from his ability Intel Extortion. Alright, so let's have a look at how he does in battle. So right, we're going to start off with the wooden training dummy right over here. So as soon as he starts battle, he immediately fires his 3-point gun. That is the fire, lightning, and ice. So this will either freeze the enemy, inflict a lot of damage, or drain the enemy target's energy. Now, in addition to this, we have this little camera that's following him around. This will take a picture of the enemy hero. This will be represented by a little paper above the enemy's head, as we can see, and each stack of this weakness will allow Raoul over here to steal more energy from the enemy targets. So as we can see, he's constantly dashing around, going both into melee and ranged based effects, allowing him to deal a lot of damage both at ranged and in melee range. So that is this 3-hit combo where he hits the enemy target multiple times. There's his gun where he's shooting the enemies from a distance. So this allows him to be both in the melee combat and deal a lot of damage to multiple targets at the same time. There we go. So let's have a look at his ultimate ability. So he calls his newspaper boy. This will distribute the flyers to his allied heroes, and he'll restore a significant amount of energy to all allied heroes. Alright, so we have had a look at him at the wooden training dummy. So let's have a look at how he does at a much higher level deficit. Now from this particular team, we can see that Raoul did a significant amount of damage even when compared to other heroes such as Naruko, Awakened Brothers, and in many cases, Dracona's Gwyneth. Now we're going to have a look at this particular team. Now this is an energy removal based team, and we can see that he was even able to compete with Awakened Chimera and Lady Simone. Now from this team, we can see that he provided a massive amount of support based on his role at providing energy to your allies. Now when he uses his ultimate, in many cases, all of your allies will get a full energy bar, allowing them to immediately use their ultimate and one-shot the enemy heroes. Now as we can see, there we go. Both Silas and Alna got a full energy bar, allowing Silas to ult, and Alna will ult as well. There we go, before they are taken by death, right over here. And we can see that many of your allied heroes greatly benefit from this continual energy recovery from Raoul and his abilities over here. Now he provides a tremendous amount of extra utility through his buffs, attack rating reduction. This reduces the amount of incoming damage for your allied heroes, and this provides a lot of support for your teammates as well. So what is the minimum investment that I would recommend into this allied hero? Now, I would highly recommend getting him to 30 signature item. The reason for this is this provides him a tremendous amount of support, both extra survivability to that 30 SI. In addition, he's able to steal more attack rating from the enemy heroes and provide it to your own damage dealers in your team. Also, his 10 unlock recovers even more energy for your teammates. Now, this is extraordinarily powerful, especially if your team is a ultimate heavy based team. Now, I'll also recommend getting his 9 out of 9 furniture, as this allows you to steal more attack rating. So if you do not have this unlocked, it's simply 20% attack rating removal from the enemy targets. But with the 9 out of 9, this is 60% more attack rating for your allied heroes that Raoul can provide. Now, I would also recommend getting at least his 30 engravings. The reason for this is this 40% more damage from Raoul and his allied heroes. So this, on top of the extra attack rating, the energy recovery, this gives you more damage on top of all the existing buffs that he is providing for your teammates as well. Now, he's extremely versatile, as he also has a bit of self-healing, a bit of cheat deaths, and control as well. So he's not just a buff-based hero, he also provides a significant amount of extra utility-based items for your team as well. Now, because of how this hero works and how he is able to steal the enemy's attack rating, this might be extremely powerful, especially against bosses where they have a tremendous amount of attack rating, which can be removed from the enemy and be given to your allies. This extra engravings will allow him to steal more stats. In addition, it will also give him an immunity to damage, which is extremely powerful,